Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the UEL Sports Dock in East London, where the Phoenix are hosting the Worcester Wolves in the BWB Women's Premier League. Daniel Routledge, delighted to be joined by Paralympic silver medalist Joseph Gyrantner. JJ, great to have you alongside us. We had a lot of drama last week involving the Wolves. We could do with a bit more of it today.
Yeah, what a game that was. Went right down to the buzzer, didn't it? Great end game by Worcester, having played fantastic defence throughout the game. But in the end, Sarah Hope and Kayla Bell brought them home, 4-point victory.
Yeah, an excellent win for the Worcester Wolves. It was their first of the season, and they're here today trying to get their second one on the board against a quality East London Phoenix lineup here.
Yeah, the one concern last week with Worcester were 21 turnovers, Dan. They cannot afford that against this team, who are a powerful offensive team. Even though, as we understand it, Amy Conroy, one of their star players, is missing through injury, they still have the likes of Wheeler, McAfee, and of course Jude Hamer, who's come into some great form of late. She's been putting some big numbers on the board.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach Fisher a little earlier, and he did mention the turnovers being an issue last week, but they got it over the line in some ways from a coaching point of view. That's a good way to win the game, but still have some learning points to take to this next encounter that they play. And obviously they were at home last week, looking to do it on the road here today.
Yeah, if they can do a similar defensive job that they did last week, I mean, that was really what won them the game. They managed to restrict the scoring from Cardiff, and it was clear then that they had a plan. But as I said at the time, having a plan is one thing, executing it is another, and execute it they did.
Well, let's take a look at the standings in the WPL as they are now, and the big surprise coming yesterday with undefeated Loughborough taking their first loss, and a big loss as well. Cardiff going to Loughborough and winning 79-43, an incredible result for the Archers.
Yeah, absolutely unbelievable. I mean, and nobody could have seen that coming. You know, if somebody had gone down to one of the betting shops before and put a bet on that, they would have a lot of money. No, I don't think anybody really could have seen that coming. You would have thought even without Bo Kramer in their lineup, they would have won. But there you go. It just shows the quality of this league, that anybody can beat anybody on any given day.
Yeah, 29 points and 23 rebounds for Jade Atkin. An incredible performance for her to lead her team to victory, but you don't score 79 against Loughborough without a lot of contributions up and down the roster. So that's really ignited the regular season here, giving everybody else a little chink of light into the juggernaut that has been Loughborough through the first season and a half of the WPL.
Yeah, obviously, you know, it's been obvious from the start and also from last season that they're the team to beat, and everybody will be doing their best to get to them. So a great victory for Cardiff.
Well, earlier I managed to catch up with both coaches ahead of this afternoon's game. Obviously you took over at the start of the season coaching. 5 games in, what have you made of the squad?
The squad is a good squad. We've proven that by what we've done so far. You know, we've had some, injury along the way. Some players missed some games. We've managed to find a way to win. Also, we've got a good blend between some very experienced international level players and a very young player. So he's trying to bring everything together, so to develop the player that he's developing and the one that are at the top of their game to keep them ticking along.
And obviously you've got some returning players from last year.
Yeah.
In terms of being the coach, how much do you sort of like build on what it was and then implement your own style?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mix. Last year, obviously, the core of the group from last season is still here. So he's trying to mix some few things on defense and trying to improve some of the stuff that the team had last season. So my main focus coming in this year was to improve the defense, and that's what we're trying to do.
And looking at the Wolves, you've obviously played them once already this season, beaten them. What did you do well in that game?
In that game, that's one of the games where I thought we came together as a group. We missed a couple of key players in that game. We managed to, obviously, the defense kept them to a low scoring percentage. We struggled a little bit on the offensive side ourselves, but I think our defense was the one that won us our last game.
Well, I was going to ask you what you think the most important key is to win this game. I'm assuming it's at the defensive end of the court.
Yeah, it's defense. I think defense gives you a chance to win. Obviously, we want to score, but we want to make it as hard for them. We can see already, most of the teams are already getting better every game. So, we just need to keep doing the same thing, getting better, and both hands of the floor, both on defense and offense. So, key to the game is always for us is trying to make sure we have that defensive presence, so we should help us to win games.
Good luck in the game.
Thank you very much.
Well, Coach, a great win last week. What are your reflections on that?
I think the biggest reflection was just so proud that the players got it done. I mean, it was a great advert for the game. Went right down to the wire, and the fact that we found a way to win, there was many things we could have done better. I mean, we turned the ball over a little bit too much. We didn't execute, but overall, I thought we found a way, and that's the biggest thing. Confidence, hopefully, will breed that today. And it was a good advert. I mean, doesn't quite seem that when you're in it, but looking back at it, it was a good game of wheelchair basketball.
Well, that's the thing from a coach's point of view. I'm sure it's much better to win by 20, but to win the way you did, there's plenty of learning about execution down the stretch.
No, it is. And I think sometimes you win, it can paper over the cracks, but sometimes you just got to find just that little something extra. The girls, dug deep, made some big crucial plays down the stretch, found ways to make that happen, and sometimes it's just about grit and resilience. And it wasn't a result that was based on a particular player. It was based on a team performance, and I thought all members of the team really contributed. So that's gone well into this week's practice. But as I said to the girls just in the change room, it's that's one game. This is a new game, so we've got to take the positives from that, but we've got to then go and execute again today.
Obviously, you played East London earlier in the year. What were your takeaways from that game?
We were competitive. Again, there were areas we need to work on. They've got a slightly different lineup today with a couple of players out. We've got to make sure that we try to play our game and not get sucked into potentially the way they want to play. But the biggest thing for us is to believe in what we can do, be positive, have a positive mindset, and just keep growing as a team. We're away from home. Last week, playing at home, you're probably playing on your home floor, your home rings. Today, we've got to show we can do it in someone else's environment. So, for us, it's concentrating on our performance and then see where we're at to. And if we stay competitive, and see where we are coming the fourth quarter.
Most important aspect of the game that you have to do well to win?
Keep hold of the ball. Execute in terms of making sure that last week, we probably gave 10 or 12 opportunities for shots. Even the shot potential we shot at, that could have been 4 or 5 more scores. So I think the biggest thing for us is to maximise what we have and give ourselves the opportunity, and part of that is don't turn the ball over. And if we do turn the ball over, let's make sure they're what we call dead turnovers, so the ball goes out of bounds, as opposed to live turnovers and layups. So if we can control that aspect, then I think we should be in the game.
Good luck in the game.
Thank you.
Well, the team's just being introduced to the fans here at the Sports Dock, and the interesting thing about this Wolves team, they've got that win, but they did it in a low-scoring game. They are the lowest-scoring team in this competition. They've got to try and find a way against a pretty good defensive team in East London of getting the ball in the basket.
Yeah, that's right. Also, they need to, if they can, to look for cheap baskets on the break, because that's an easy way of doing that. If you look at someone like Cardiff and Leah Evans, she's so adept at doing that. She knows exactly when to go. If they can get a few cheap baskets and defend well, they'll be in the game, I would have thought.
Well, that is the key, I'm sure, for Coach Fisher. And also, he talked about the turnovers. We've already sort of touched on it. Way too many last week. I think it was 22 turnovers. They've got to look after the ball, because the turnovers, and he talked about it in his interview about live ball turnovers versus dead ball. The live ball ones can give the other team cheap points.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, if you make a turnover there and they get it, then they're off on the break and they're getting cheap baskets against you. The disappointing thing that I think for Fish last week was that a lot of those turnovers were unforced. They were just bad passes. The receiver wasn't looking, or it shouldn't have been a pass. It was the wrong pass to the wrong player in the wrong position.
And at the other end of the floor, obviously a new coach this year, Coach Addy, taking over the reins at the East London Phoenix and trying just to mould it into his own image.
Yeah, it's a difficult task because these coaches, they don't get all the players 3-4 times a week to do training sessions. Sometimes they're left with a core group only, and it's very difficult to do that. So he definitely will have a plan. He will probably find that as he grows into the job, he has to adapt that plan to the numbers he's getting, given the frequency of training they have.
And the biggest adaptation at the moment is the absence of Amy Conroy through injury, because she is such a focal point of what this East London Phoenix did last year when we saw them perform so well on a regular basis. A lot goes through her.
Yeah, that's right. Amy Conroy, obviously a class player. She's been a class player since she was a junior, under 16, I think. And a loss to any team that she plays in. She played some minutes this season, but it's always been capped. So she's not been able to put the numbers on the board you'd usually expect.
Well, let's take a look at the lineups for the two teams, starting with East London. And we've mentioned the absence of Conroy, but what a season Beth Wheeler is having so far, averaging 18.5 points per game. Really impressive offensive production. Yeah,
look, she's one of those very unique. I call her a free radical. She's one of those unique players, an all-court player. She can play the forward position if you need her to get pick and rolls. She can shoot the three. She can shoot from almost anywhere. And if she's on song, look out, everybody.
And the experience down at the bottom end of that roster, 55 and 99, two top-level players there.
Yeah, Sophie Carrigill, steady as a rock. Really is the leader of this team. She may not be the one that shouts a lot and doesn't score many points, but she's so experienced, does everything at the right time, does everything well at the right time. And Jude Hamer, of course, has come into some form. I think she had a slow start for the season, but the last couple of games, she's really put together some good numbers.
Well, let's take a look at the Worcester Wolves lineup, and of course, we're always drawn to to number 11, Sarah Hope, the captain. So much that she does for this team, but obviously, in order to win games, they need everybody to come and perform. I thought Horan was excellent last week.
Yeah, Oren was fantastic last week because she did everything at both ends of the court. She rebounded in defense, she defended well, she covered, and at the other end, she took responsibility, which was really impressive. When they needed it most, she'd take a drive to the basket or take a shot and often hit it. Surprised to not see her on the starting lineups, which I'm just looking at now. They've gone with Laughlin instead, but I'm sure they know what they're doing.
And Kayla Bell as well, another important contributor to this team.
Yeah, she only scored 5 or 7 points last week, but they were crucial points, including the last basket to take it into a 4-point win. But she was so good, and as I mentioned last week, one of the most improved players in the last couple of years that I've seen.
Well, the two teams just going through their final warm-ups ahead of the start of this ball game. And, really important, I feel, for Worcester on the road to get off to a good start here. Given that they're coming off the back of a win, the confidence will be high. They'll want to try and carry that forward.
Yeah, confidence should be high. But as you say, they won't want to go down by 8 to 10 points early in this game, because then it's already a long way back from that.
Well, there seems to be a slight delay to the starting of proceedings. We should have been tipping off by now, but they seem to have paused the clock while they're working out a problem that I'm not quite sure what it is. I can't see. There's an official at the table, but I can't quite see why they've not gone into their final huddle to talk through the tactics for the start of the game, but they are continuing to warm up. I'm assuming it must be scoreboard related, because the clock is stuck at 1:40 on the main scoreboard. And you can see Coach Fisher there looking on, bringing his years of experience to bear at the table.
Yeah, good old Fish. I mean, he's actually played every single role that I can think of in basketball.
Yeah.
You know, player, coach, table official, referee. He's done it all, so he knows it all inside out. Let's hope it's not a badminton double booking.
Well, fortunately, they've taped over those lines. So, yes, we're not quite sure what the delay to the game is, but hopefully it will not be for too long and we can get this contest underway, because, well, players are creatures of habit, aren't they? They go through their routines, through their warm-ups, and if you throw them out even by a few minutes, it can put them off.
Yeah, that's right. They would have gone through their routines, as you say, mental exercises, visualization, and that'll all be set around the time that they see clicking down. So, but, you know, got some experienced players out there. I wouldn't expect them to be too put off. You do get anomalies like this every now and again, and, you know, they should be prepared for it, I would have thought.
Well, there is Coach Addy of the East London Phoenix, having taken over this season, an experienced player in his own right. What do you think he's brought to this East London team?
Well, I think certainly a sense of professionalism. Let's not forget, this isn't like his first coaching gig. He's been coaching and playing in Spain. So, you know, he's really used to the pressure situations, because in Spain, for example, every game is pressure. There's no games where you can just relax. I think, as I understand it, he's had some problems with numbers over there. He's had to actually get in his chair and play a little bit.
Oh, wow.
Last season.
They'll be calling you up a little bit.
Oh, I don't think things are that desperate yet to happen.
But I was talking to him before the game, and almost every answer he gave was around the defensive end of the floor. So that's clearly a point of emphasis that he's been stressing with the team so far.
Yeah, no big surprise there, because Addy, I mean, he was a really good player, a very fine player, but his game was built around defence. He was so good at defending, so it's no surprise that he builds his game from the back forward, so to use a football analogy.
And obviously it's a challenge for him, because he's joining a team where there's a lot of returning players from last season, and having to take what was good from that and then also drop in the extra bits that he wants to put in with his own style.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that alludes to what we were talking about earlier, how he would have come here with a plan, definitely. And as the time goes on, he would have had to adapt that, possibly, whether it be personnel or tactics.
Well, obviously they in the standings are the closest to Loughborough at the moment, and obviously if they finish first and second, they can't meet until the final, and I'm sure that will be his ultimate destination. What do you think he's got? I mean, obviously they're going to need Conroy to be fit and healthy by the end of the season if they are going to make that run. But what do you think he's doing in this moment now, whilst Conroy isn't here, to be able to develop some of the other players, so that when she returns, they've got a little more to take to Loughborough?
Well, it's always a good idea to think in those terms anyway. So if you're playing a game, for example, where it's an easy win, okay, where, let's face it, some of these games are easy wins, it's the sort of thing where you might take off some of your key players, give them far fewer minutes in order to develop other players, in order to put other players in pressure situations. So I'd imagine he's trying to do something along those lines.
Well, they're still sorting out whatever the issue is at the table. I'm pretty sure it is clock related, because, as I say, the main scoreboard has just stopped. The secondary scoreboard is not on anymore. It was on earlier, but it's been switched off, so I'm assuming it's a technical issue at the table that they're trying to sort out, which is a little disappointing for those in the house who want to see the action get underway. There was a little bit of a practice session going on before I got here, some young kids having a go at wheelchair basketball, and again, this whole Women's Premier League is about not just getting the best of the best in Great Britain to compete against each other, but also opening the exposure of the sport to a wider audience and to get young kids involved in it.
Yeah, look, Dan, I mean, I've been very lucky to have been brooding around the sport for so long now, close on 40 years. And, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I came in and I saw the same scene that you did. And there were more kids on this court today than there were playing when I first started. There were more women on this court playing than when I first started. So it's been an incredible story, you know, the progress that the game has made. And it's fantastic to see.
And this is also about trying to develop the next generation. And this young fella here, Daniel, I'm led to believe is the Phoenix #1 fan. They're going to do a presentation to him at halftime. And I'm sure he's looking forward to that. But he was on the court getting his shots up before the game as well, which is really what it's all about, trying to develop the game and to give people an opportunity to see top level and then go and join in.
Yeah, exactly. It's great when you can do those two things in conjunction. So it's great for someone like Daniel, who's a super fan, to get the chance to be this close to the team and to be on the same court even. That would have been really exciting for him.
Well, apologies again for the slight delay in tip-off here at the Sports Dock in East London. They're still beavering about at the table trying to sort out whatever the issue is, but it does, from the confused looks at the table, look at as if they're looking at the far end scoreboard. So while we try and sort that out, here's the schedule coming up. Obviously nothing going on next weekend, and then we've got the rematch of Loughborough against Cardiff. That's going to be an interesting one in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, look, I mean, Loughborough will be smarting from not just a defeat, but, you know, a comprehensive defeat, and unexpected, and they'll be looking to get their revenge. So we'll see what plans they will have made in order to overcome Cardiff this time.
And then Cardiff on the 29th taking on Worcester Wolves, and again, other way round that time, they'll be smarting from the last meeting between these two teams.
Yeah, they will be smarting because it was such a close game at the end. If you remember, Dan, it was surprising that they had an opportunity to foul at the very end of that game, and we were saying earlier in that, you know, that people don't seem to foul in this league as a legitimate tactic. So maybe they've learned something from that if it's a close game again.
And then the final one there, Loughborough against East London, which again, another mouth-watering contest that is potential. These all, obviously, we will have for you over the next few weeks here on the BBC. As we build up towards the playoffs, and it looks as though things might be about to get underway. Certainly the teams have broadly headed back to their sidelines for the discussions with the coaches, although the three officials are still deep in conversation and there's still a lot going on at the table. And you said a minute or two probably doesn't affect people. We're obviously 10 minutes late now. I think the players will start to get a bit, just want to get on with it. It's almost like that nervous energy, just want to get on with it.
Yeah, some of them might be feeling a little bit edgy now, but you'd expect the likes of Carrigill and Hamer and Hope and Bell not to really be too affected by this, and they should calm the rest of their team, you would have thought.
Well, there is Sarah Hope, who hasn't gone back over to the sidelines, and Coach Fisher has come wandering over this way. So my optimism that perhaps it may be about to be sorted might have been a little premature there, because it doesn't seem to have fixed whatever the problem is, but they're still manically. They've had different boxes come out, and modern technology, eh? In the old days, they used to just have numbers on the table, didn't they? They'd flip it over, and that would be the solution for the scoreboard.
God, I miss those days, Dan.
It was easier, wasn't it? I'm not sure how accurate the timing was of it when nobody could see what the clock was on the wall. You used to just get a thing that tell you were in the 8th minute.
Yeah, I played many games like that, back in the day, so to speak.
Well, we might get there yet. We might. I did see a game one time where somebody was, in fact, I've done it myself on my son's game, actually drawn on a whiteboard to keep the score.
Wow,
it's hard work, that.
I don't think I've ever had that.
But East London are having their pre-match talk, but I think it might be. It might be about where they're going to eat afterwards at the minute, because they're not getting into the tactics of the game, because the problems at the table, they've got a manual out over on the other side there. It's not a good sign, is it?
Not really. I mean, the way they may be planning a meal, but they won't know which one it is at the moment. Will it be breakfast tomorrow or dinner tonight?
Could be at this rate. On the table, there's all sorts of people now turned up at the table, and suboptimal, I think, is the term here. There doesn't seem to be any consistent looking either. They're all looking at different spots, which is why I'm not 100% sure what it is. They got the boxes out, which looked like they were getting a replacement scoreboard controller, but unless it's related to the shot clocks. But again, you could just carry on if the shot clocks aren't working. The referees can do it the old-fashioned way and just count to 24, but it must be related to the. Well, they're lowering one of the baskets on the far side. Not quite sure what that could possibly be for. Oh, there's a shot clock on that other basket, and that is ticking down. So maybe they're lowering that because the shot clocks on the main basket are not working, and they can use a substitute shot clock on the side baskets, which is all right if you're at that end of the floor. It's not so great if you're at the other end of the floor, where East London were warming up in the first half. There you can see it slowly lowering down with the shot clock that is operational. That's just ticked down and got to 0, and maybe that is the solution.
But most unusual if that's what the solution is, if that's what the problem was, the shot clock. As you said, Dan, it's not unusual to play sometimes in venues where the shot clock isn't available, and the referees will do a rough shot clock and they'll give the offensive team a 10-second count, etc.
Well, that would appear to be the solution, and now don't know why they didn't lower them at the same time, but the basket on the near side of the court is being lowered, which will have the equivalent shot clock on it. But again, it's only really useful for the end that Worcester are currently attacking. At the other end of the court, there won't be, because whilst there are shot clocks on the baskets that are at the other end of the floor, they'll be independent of these ones, because it's to allow 2 different games going cross court.
You know what, Dan? I have a creeping sensation that they're changing courts, which I hope isn't the case. I hope I'm really wrong about that.
Well, they'd all be messed up with the lines gone. I think it is purely just to show the shot clocks, but there is movement. I'm delighted to report the referees are taking their coats off. The teams are having a proper discussion. I think they're going to have to work off the shot clocks on the other baskets just to be slightly confusing, but at least 15 minutes later we can get this game underway. So the explanation just being given, it is related to the crowd, because obviously that basket is now blocking the view of some of them. They might have to shufty along a bit, but we can at least see a shot clock, JJ, so we've got an idea of what's going on.
Yeah, we're comfortable here, perched in our eyrie.
And And we are about to get things underway here at the Sports Dock in East London. Slightly delayed start, 16 minutes or so, but we're finally going to get some WPL basketball underway. And it is the Wolves who are first to break, and they will go with Bell, Jade Loughlin, as you trailed earlier, Hope, Fraser and English, the starting five for the visitors. East London will go with Brown, Steele, Wheeler, Cargill and Hamer. Here we go then in East London. The Phoenix looking for a fourth win of the season. Worcester trying to get two in a row here, having claimed their first success last Saturday. And it will be two of the most experienced players you could come across in this league. Going to battle it out for the start of the game, Hope and Hamer. And it's Hope who wins the tip, and Loughlin who brings it into the front court. Here's Bell. Out to Fraser. Working with English. Shoots behind the screen and knocks it down. Good start.
Nice start from Fraser. Good, confident shot.
Well, we've talked about Worcester's struggles with their shooting numbers at times. Hamer trying the reverse shot there. She was stuck underneath in a good position, but the wrong way round. Really span it in backwards. Here's Hope now with a lot of space along the baseline. And makes no mistake, 2 for 2 the Wolves.
Perfect start for Wolves. This will give them a lot of confidence. They can get it together in defense.
Well, they've got 3 players back, although Hope is down. So they're a little outnumbered. Will they do enough? Was that touch? No, it wasn't. Hamer trying to convince the referees there was a little block on that, which is why it went out of bounds. But it will be a Wolves ball, and Hope is able to get her chair back the right way up and is just getting back into it.
So we see the immediate tactic here is to try and get Sarah Hope caught up in the back court when the Phoenix are attacking, so that they have this height mismatch. They trying to get mismatches with Hamer, perhaps even with Wheeler.
Well, she is very tall, Sarah Hope, and sits very high in the chair, so defensive presence is quite intimidating for the other team. So if you can keep her as far away from the basket, really at both ends of the floor, that's even better. She's now sorted her chair out, and we can get back underway. Here's Loughlin. Loughlin, nice move, driving to the basket. Just got a little deep. Cargill did enough to put her off in the end.
Yeah, just left it a bit too late to take that shot. Nice drive, though.
Wheeler trying to create some space. Gets it down to Hamer. Shot clock at 5 as it goes up, but falls short. Hope with the rebound.
Again, the pass was just a little bit too late. Hamer was in position before that.
Loughlin has room at the elbow. Defense late to recover, but off the mark and out of bounds. A couple of minutes gone here at the Sports Dock, and the home team still looking for their first score of the game. It's a foul. Will that count? No, it's on the floor.
Yeah, nice pass there from Wheeler and a good finish from DB Steele.
Well, they're going to give her shots for it. Even though the basket was waved off, I'm slightly confused by that.
The shooting foul.
But then if she was shooting, yeah. But if she was shooting, then why doesn't the basket count?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Sarah Hope was as confused as I was because she went for the rebound, assuming it was a three-point play opportunity.
Yeah, that was odd. You're right.
Here's Hope. Nice ball movement off the back of the ring from Fraser. Carrigill, nice pass and a great cut, but no finish there from Wheeler, unusually for her. Might get another go at it. And that one doesn't drop either. Well, that will go out of bounds and will be an East London ball.
Yeah, unusual miss there from Wheeler. That's normally the positions that she scores quite heavily from. And then once again, Hamer with a good rebound, but too far under the basket for the second time in this quarter.
Wheeler trying to get into the lane, back to Carrigill late in the shot clock, and there's a 3-second violation called against the Phoenix. So still they are searching for their first score 3 minutes in.
Yeah, they didn't get their spacing right this time. But again, I think Worcester are doing a decent job on defence again. Obviously, they've been working on that again.
Can they take advantage of all these stops by building an early lead? They have a 4-point advantage right now. Lachlan in the corner, 5 on the shot clock. Nice pass inside to Bell. He's trying to get it up and over the ring.
That's a tough catch and shoot for a Class 1 player in that position.
Here's Hamer, crowded out and fouled on the shot. And Jude Hamer will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, bought herself that foul using her experience, Jude Hamer.
Well, not been her best season, you would say, from the free throw line so far.
Which is puzzling, really, that she's had a bad time at the free throw line, because for me, her 8 to 10 jump shot is probably one of her best assets.
Well, she's down to 25% after the first miss, but the second one goes in, and finally the Phoenix are on the board. Here's Hope, trying to use her speed to get to the basket, but Hamer there to meet her. Cross court it comes to Bell. Bell with the mid-range. Rebound for Hamer. Nice pass, Carrigill out in front, lays it up and in. First field goal of the game for the Phoenix, and they've cut it to 1.
Steady as a rock, Sophie Carrigill, great finish, nice fast break from Phoenix.
Fraser under pressure, gets it away to Lachlan. Lachlan guarded by Brown. Good hand from Brown, forces the pass across to Hope. Nice extra one inside, and a good 2 points. English on the end of it.
That was a nice finish from English. Good ball movement.
Wheeler looking to find Hamer. It was a tough pass. Brown, I think, is going to have to keep that in the backcourt. Is it? No, it must have come off a Worcester player, so it's not a backcourt violation. But the shot clock is very low. Hamer's going to have to heave it on the buzzer. Gets it away in time, but it was a difficult shot because it was rushed.
Again, good defence despite the poor pass, but it was good defence that forced the poor pass.
Worcester have definitely started brightly here. They'd feel maybe they could have a bigger lead than 3. Hope trying to get them 2 more points. Oh, it just won't bobble in for her. And between Hamer and Wheeler, they're able to come up with the ball, East London.
Yeah, that's just what they need to do. Get it to her early if she's got the mismatch in the post particularly.
Carrigal up top to Steele. Trying to find Hamer again, but once again, she's got 2 defenders around her, and it's not an easy pass to catch for Jude Hamer. Six seconds left on the shot clock. Wheeler's going to fire up the 3 off the mark, and Fraser with the rebound. Hope up top, pushed back by Hamer. Shot clock getting low for Sarah Hope here. Ooh, oh, it's a travelling violation. She was obviously trying to free up some space for that last second shot and took an extra push.
Yeah, nice phase of defense there from Phoenix, forcing that handling error.
Brown doing a really good job of keeping Hope in the backcourt. Well, that's a good look for Wheeler. Plenty of time to think about it, but short on the front of the ring.
Yeah, she's coming up short, maybe lacking a bit of confidence at the moment.
Well, Bella's got Hamer trapped at the other end, so it's 4-on-4 here. Hamer's managed to break free. Hope tries the hook shot from the free throw line with only 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, let's not forget Horan is now in the game, so that should give Worcester a bit more offensive oomph. But we can see DB Steele doing a good job there, so that if Hamer is picked out, she's able to guard someone like Sarah Hope legitimately.
Brown onto Hamer. That's a good look there. They've tried to force the ball to Hamer a couple of times. That time they got her in a real nice spot. She's going to knock that down all afternoon.
Yeah, that's her comfort zone, really, that little mismatch from the elbow and even anywhere down the edge of the key.
Well, it's been a good start by the Worcester Wolves. You feel like Coach Fisher might feel his team should be a little better off than 6-5 up front, given how well they played in these first 7 minutes.
Yeah, you'd have thought so, but it's just the way it goes. Both teams have defended quite well. Sarah Hope's not had that many good looks, actually. They've done a good job on her. They've stopped her getting back into defense as well, which has the double effect of her not being there to rebound or to guard the likes of Hamer, but also it fatigues her. Yeah. As the game goes on, it fatigues players who get picked out a lot.
Yeah, it's one of those things, because often it happens out of camera shot because we're watching the 4-on-4 at the other end. But the amount of effort that players expend trying to lose somebody, trying to get round somebody in the backcourt so they can race back and play either defense or offense, because you see teams doing it at both ends of the floor, cannot be underestimated.
Sometimes we used to tell players if that happened, look, just to wait.
Yeah.
And save their energy, and we'll play 4-on-4.
Play 4-on-4 and a long pass.
Yeah.
Because it's usually a mismatch. It's usually a low pointer trying to keep a high pointer down the court. Fraser Here's Bell at the foul line, knocks it down. Really came into that shot, Kayla Bell.
Bang. What a great positional play there by Kayla Bell. Header position. Had plenty of time.
The momentum going forward as well, which always helps with the shot. That one's overcooked by Wheeler, who's had a slow start at the offensive end. 5 shots, but none of them have gone in.
Yeah, she seems a bit off her game in this quarter at least, but she'll have to pick up. I don't think they can rely on Jude Hamer alone to do the bulk of the scoring if they're going to win this game.
Well, Wheeler shooting 43% from the floor on the season, so it would suggest her numbers will come back up at some point. Here she is at the defensive end, coming up with the steal. Speaking of steal, here's Steele with the ball back to Wheeler. That's going to be an offensive foul, I think. No basket, and Wheeler called for the charge.
Yeah, just a little rush of blood to the head there, but what a great defensive read that was from Beth Wheeler to steal that ball.
Well, East London now going to call time on things. 8 minutes in, and it's 5 points to 8 in favour of the Wolves, and certainly in terms of the pace of scoring, this favours the Wolves the way they've played this season.
Yeah, look, any team like them who are building their game based on their defense, they won't be unhappy with a low-scoring game like this because it plays into their hands.
Well, both coaches deep in conversations with their teams, but really the difference in this game is they've both taken 11 shots, and Worcester have made 4 and East London only 2, and that will be the key. East London have managed to get some offensive rebounds to give themselves second chances. They just haven't taken any of them yet. Back underway here at the Sports Dock, and it's Lachlan who brings the ball forward, and she's left all alone. I'm not sure where the defenders were. Hope with the rebound. Wow, coming out of the timeout, that is not the sort of defense that he would have hoped to see from his team.
No, yeah, the last thing they want to do is start giving up offensive rebounds. Here we see Sarah Hope again being picked out.
Offensive foul called on the screen by Steele.
But it's all going wrong for Phoenix, isn't it? That's 2 offensive fouls in a row.
Well, and as a coach, nothing more infuriating. You call a timeout, you come up, you give up an open shot, an offensive rebound putback, and then an offensive foul at the other end. That's not what he would have been saying to do in the timeout, that's for sure. And there's another score out of it. So 4 quick points, and suddenly the Wolves are up 7.
Yeah, look, all credit to them. They defended well and taken their chances.
Hamer down court quickly, got good position, and those normally go in. We were talking about the chances of some cheap points in trying. That's an unsportsmanlike foul. Brown from behind, just banging in. That's well, that's not really a smart foul there. You just take your chances and see whether you can put a little bit of pressure on Lachlan, hope she misses, rather than give her 2 free throws and possession of the ball that the unsportsmanlike does.
Yeah, that foul was right out of Alabama, wasn't it? I mean, it's the wrong play at the wrong time. This it's still the first quarter with a minute to go. That's the sort of foul you make in the last quarter. To save a game.
It wasn't even very subtle, was it? I mean, we're sat up on the top row here. We could easily have called that alongside the referees, I think. And Lachlan makes the first free throw.
So we talked about at the start that Worcester wouldn't want to go down 8 to 10 points early, but it's Phoenix who have that problem to solve.
And Lachlan trying to get some more points on the board, having made her first free throws of the season. Shot clock low here. Hope is going to have to try and hook one again. Oh, it's a one-handed shot instead. It wasn't too far away. Oh, East London trying to cut into this 8-point deficit here. Just 5 points in the first quarter for them. Hamer having to come cross court to Wheeler. Bell quickly there defensively. Into the key it goes. Off the iron. Wolves with the ball. Is there enough time for one last score and try and get a double-figure lead here? Shot clock being counted down. Here's Hope trying to square up for 3, but that is short. But apart from that, I think Coach Fisher will be delighted with the first quarter for his team. They've been really good for the whole 10 minutes. The scoreboard didn't always reflect that. It certainly does now.
Yeah, look, they've done great work at both ends of the court. They've taken their chances and they've defended well. As for the Phoenix, I think we can see that they're missing Amy Conroy. That almost goes without saying, really. Wheeler's been a bit quiet, which has led to them being 8 points down.
I suppose the one thing they would say is, you know, Wheeler's 0 for 5 and Hamer 1 for 6, so a combined 1 for 11 from two players who can put the ball in the basket. Regression to the mean would suggest both of those players are going to start knocking shots down as the game goes on, and they're only down 8.
Yeah, one would hope so. I mean, we're saying it's an 8-point lead as if it's 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. There's plenty of time to come back. The problem that Orogbemi might have to solve if it continues in this vein is, and I keep saying this, what can I do or what can we do to change the game? Do we press? Do we put out a different team? Do we put out a taller team? Or you don't know what assets are available to him.
But Coach Fisher, I mean, he was applauding his team off as they came in for this break, and really it has been at the defensive end. Yes, they've got a lead because they put the ball in the basket, and 13 points is above their average for the season, but keeping this East London team to 5 points will be the thing that he's most delighted with.
Yeah, exactly. We keep saying that they're building their game on defense, and if defense has worked, if you've kept a team to 5 points in one quarter, and one of the top teams, mind you, even without Conroy, they're a pretty good outfit.
Well, if they continue that and keep East London to 20, they'll win the game. It's never quite that simple, but they've certainly started well. Here's Fivash over to Hamer. That's the sort of spot Jude Hamer wants to be in, and that's exactly why. 2 really good looks she's had. She's knocked both of them down. Yeah.
Worcester didn't get their defense right that time, and here we see the press that we were talking about.
And that's a good spot to do it because it's right on the line, and the wheel of Jade Lachlan just went back into the backcourt. If you're new to the sport of basketball, once you get into the half of the court that you're attacking, you're not allowed to go back with the ball, and that's exactly what happened just there.
Yeah, they're a good pressing team, our Phoenix. They've got their lines right. This could be the moment where they change the momentum of this game.
Well, Hamer's got another decent look, and that's the thing. I mean, we talked about her being 1 for 6 and saying it wouldn't last very long. Suddenly she's now 3 for 8, and it's going in the right direction.
Yeah, class is permanent, Dan.
Indeed. But the looks that she's got, the 3 ones that have gone in have been really good looks. The ones that have not gone in, Worcester have done a better job of making it hard for her.
Yeah.
Here's Horan at the free throw line. Over to Hope. Hamer with a hand in the face, putting the shot off. Now it's got to go up. Horan has to hook it from the elbow, and that hit the string on the stanchion. Another good defensive play, and it was Hamer's initial hand to take the shot away from Hope that put them under pressure.
Yeah, she did a great job there. Came right across court to put that pressure.
Here she is again at the offensive end, this time using the glass, and suddenly Jude Hamer is the hot hand in the opening stages of the second quarter.
And see this press now.
And it's stolen away. Five Ash picking off that pass, and it's all East London right now. What a change in the game in the opening 2 minutes. They've already scored more points in this quarter than they did in the first, although they turned that one over. Thrown up in front for Horan, but Hamer is quick. I think that came off Hamer's chair on the way out. Horan did well there because Hamer got there first.
Good chase by Jude Hamer. Be unfortunate that it bounced off her chair, but at least she stopped 2 points there.
Rockland squares up to the rim, fires the shot, back iron on that. They're still looking for their first points here of the second quarter, Worcester. Carrigill under pressure, looking for options. Steele at the foul line, a little bit short, offensive rebound underneath. There's another one. It's poked away from Hamer, but Phoenix still have it. Well, that pass a little behind Steele, and they're going to be under pressure from the shot clock here. Wheeler trying to square up. She's going to have to heave one, and that goes out of bounds.
Yeah, Jude Hamer had a mismatch with 2 players early on in that offense, but the ball handler was too busy dribbling. They need to keep their heads up, because every time she has that mismatch, they have to give it to her. She's hit 3 in a row. She's got the hot hand. They should be looking for her more often.
Well, the Wolves still ahead, but the momentum against them right now. Here's Hope trying to get their first points of the quarter. Gets her own rebound. 4 Phoenix shirts around her, but she's able to calmly slot that one in.
Yeah, another offensive rebound for Sarah Hope. Nice little curl to get her into that position. Everyone doing their job.
Well, that's a good fast break, and Steele on the end of it for the lay-in.
Great pass.
Again, this press is
totally
thrown them. They've got to get it cross court. They do so in time, but the rest of the team needs to catch up. They're in a terrible spot here, the Wolves. Can they get out of it? Yes, they can. And it's through the hands of Hope, and just on the line. Again, this pressure defense that East London have come out with in the second quarter is totally thrown the Wolves.
Yeah, great pressing that time, particularly that time, because all of Worcester's ball handlers were in the backcourt, and they were left with 2 players who you wouldn't have as natural ball handlers, which took the time down.
Well, Coach Fisher rotating his lineup to try and respond to this good start to the second quarter by the Phoenix. Here's Hamer, who's been at the heart of it at both ends of the floor. Hope with the rebound. Horan forward to Fraser. Round the screen. Hope cutting to the basket, just under a little bit of pressure, hits the front of the rim.
Had more time than she thought there, could have stopped, composed herself.
Wheeler with a little change of pace, getting to the rim. And Beth Wheeler has a chance for her first points from the free throw line.
Beth Wheeler so good at that. Neither one of these players with the ball in her hand engages the defense very quickly. Not quite as quickly as Lair Evans, but quickly nonetheless.
Well, Wheeler at the line for the first time today. 3 of 6 from this distance so far this season. Makes the first one there. And continues her 50% run as that one rattles out rather unfortunately. Oh, Hope's not looking. The pass came back to her from English. And just bounced off the wheels. Ash able to come up with the loose ball.
I think Wheeler should have taken that shot, really. She chose to pass it when going herself was probably the better option.
Fraser just can't shake loose Steele. Shot clock again getting low. Lachlan trying to get it to Hope. It's going to be a shot clock violation. In fact, the referees say play because Phoenix have come up with the ball. Nice work there from 5, Ash, and then at the end of it, another 2 points, and the Phoenix, for the first time today, are in the lead.
And there you see the value of Beth Wheeler being an all-court player. She doesn't just shoot it. She set a great pick for Jude Hamer, rolled easy 2.
Lachlan, how many times have they been in this position late in the shot clock, needing to get it away, and Hope didn't get it away in time. Well, the defensive change, the switch that the Phoenix have hit in this second quarter has been something to behold. They've scored twice as many points in this period as they did in the first, but they've given up only 2 points in almost 6 minutes, and that's why they're ahead.
Yeah, the press is really doing the job for him. What it's doing is, by the time Wolves get the ball into a decent attacking position, it's too late.
And they're in scramble mode almost all the way through. 3-second violation. Steele didn't quite get her wheels out of the lane. Fraser with the mid-range, back iron. Cargill under pressure, great pass to get out of that pressure. Cargill gets it back. Squares up, has room for the shot, just a little short, and Bell pulls in the rebound. Well, they've left Bell. She's already knocked one down from there today. That one doesn't go though.
Yeah, right shot to take. Just didn't get it high enough this time.
Wheeler with the lane to basket. Gets it across to Hamer. Hamer's off the mark. Bell with another defensive rebound. That was a difficult pass there. Lachlan had a head facing the other way and couldn't quite spin around quick enough. Fraser threw that a little early.
Yeah, that was a big ask to try and get that and a finish. So Wolves now having a bit of trouble. Sarah Hope not on court. They don't have that focal point in their offense.
Well, here's the focal point of the second quarter offensively for the Phoenix. Jude Hamer, who made just one basket in the first quarter, into double figures here now.
They were never going to keep her quiet for long.
Well, Phoenix very much on top here. Can they use these last 2 minutes to expand their lead? Wheeler gets 2 goes at it, and uncharacteristically misses both.
She was just a little bit out of position there.
Well, Worcester going to make another substitution. He's been juggling his lineups through this quarter. Simon Fisher trying to get something that will work for his team, because they're being outscored 13 points to 2 in this period. Wheeler for 3. Oh my! Beth Wheeler knocks down the 3 through the contact, and a 4-point play coming.
She never stops. It doesn't matter if she's missed her first 10 shots. She's got that confidence. What a shot, what a play.
Well, it's only her second 3-pointer of the season, but it's a chance to make it 4 points. Off the iron on the free throw, but a spectacular play nonetheless for Beth Wheeler. Lachlan right on the halfway line again, needs to be careful. And under pressure, it's almost turned over, but Horan is there to pick up the pieces, but again they're at the end of the shot clock. Horan trying to find some room, can't even find the room for a Hail Mary hook there.
Great press there again. There again, illustrated. Worcester got the ball to the 3-point line with 6 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah.
It's not enough, especially without Hope on court.
90 seconds to play in the first half.
Freya Levy on for Phoenix. I like her, clever player.
Batted away by Lachlan. The pass is a little bit astray there, and asked a lot of Brand, and she wasn't able to keep it in play.
Again, nice work by Levy there in defense. Didn't go for the ball, went for position instead, which is always the best option.
Well, Hope and Bell will return.
Sounds like a pub, doesn't it?
It does.
See you down the Hope and Bell.
Yeah, indeed. We'll go for one afterwards. Here's Wheeler again for 3. Off the mark. Tapped away from Bell by Wheeler. It'll be a sideline ball. Minute to go in a second quarter in which the Wolves have only managed 1 score. And that's why they trail by 6. Can Lachlan get them going again? No.
Well, you'd expect Lachlan to hit that. It's a relatively easy shot. Bit of pressure showing.
And I think it's the scoreboard pressure, isn't it? Everything's been so hard that even the easy stuff feels difficult.
Yeah, great little block there to get Wheeler into that position.
Here's Hope finding a cutting Bell. Bell getting to the basket. Can't convert that one either. Shot clock is, well, it's on, but it's running almost identical to the game clock. So Phoenix can tick this one right down. Well, they've got a good shot there. And an offensive rebound. Lachlan's got called for a foul there, but good work from Levy to get that second chance opportunity for her team.
Yeah, unfortunate on the shot there. It was a nice little pick and roll. Didn't take the time to adjust her chair to face the basket.
9.4 seconds to go. It's into Hamer. Got to try and shoot over Hope. There's Levy again on the offensive glass. Last second shot is up, and it is in to cap an excellent second quarter for the Phoenix. Emily Branthwaite with the bucket on the buzzer, and they have gone from 8 down to 10 up in the space of 10 minutes.
Well, at the end of the first quarter, we were saying, what's Coach Orogbemi going to do to change the momentum of this game? And he put in a fantastic press. The team pressed really well. They forced Worcester to get the ball down low, but with not much time left on the shot clock, and it's worked for them. And apart from that, Jude Hamer came to the party in the second quarter. and started knocking down some fantastic shots, as did Beth Wheeler.
Well, that was definitely it. Right at the start of the quarter, Hamer made 3 buckets in a row. That pressure up court forced turnovers. They've got 9 points off turnovers in the game, the Phoenix. And what it's meant was, so many times the Wolves have been late in the shot clock, either not getting a shot off or getting a prayer off, whereas the other end of the floor, Phoenix have been getting good looks in that period.
That's right, they've taken their time, they waited for Hamer, they worked hard, to be honest, to get. They've not just waited, they've worked hard, and they've been clever to get Hamer into those positions.
Well, Hamer, when she's got in those positions, have knocked them down, and then this was the play of the game there. Through the contact, 4-point play opportunity for Wheeler, and we were talking about Wheeler and Hamer struggling to get the ball in the basket. Made just one of the 11 shots they scored they took in the first quarter, but boy, they've been red hot in the second quarter, and they've combined for 19 points between them, and that is a significant reason as to why they have this lead at half time of 10 points, and they'll be delighted as they go to the locker rooms to talk things over. And I guess it stemmed from their defense, and that was the thing that Coach Bemi was talking about before the game, and we really saw that come to play here in the second quarter, and that is why they've managed to get themselves in the lead here. Well, we saw at the top of the show, young Daniel, the super fan, before the game, he's been given his little presentation now for being the #1 Phoenix fan at halftime, and I'm sure he'll be enjoying that. All the players have surrounded him to give him a little gift and memento of their thanks and appreciation. There they all are. A little Superman t-shirt for him, perfect. It is, there he is. I've got a better view of him, and I'm sure he will remember this day coming to the Phoenix games, even more so than he does every other week when he comes along to support the team. And he will be delighted with how his team have performed in that second quarter. 20 points to 2 they lead. They won that quarter, and Coach Fisher will, I'm sure, be talking about how his team deal with that press to give themselves a bit more time at the offensive end to work with. Well, we're at the half here at East London, and earlier I managed to catch up with Freya Levy to see how things are going for her. A bit of a mixed bag to the start of the season. What have you made of the campaign so far?
Yeah, I think we've had a solid start and some great wins and some good efforts in some of the losses as well. We've taken a lot from that to learn, and you know, in the back end of the season when we face Loughborough again, we know what we need to do differently to take that win.
And obviously you got a new coach this season and a couple of new players. How has that changed the team?
I think, yeah, the new coach, the new players has definitely brought a different style, but I think we've been able to really adjust well to that and to bring new styles of play to the game, and it's really exciting to get some of the youngsters involved as well, and to see their development is really exciting.
And obviously returning players as well, so does the chemistry change in all of that, or is it you're bringing them into your way and your vibe, as you like?
I think we have a fantastic chemistry and fantastic vibe. You know, we've got a really good culture at the club, and I don't think that the new players have impacted that at all. You know, it's been quite a seamless transition into the team, and you know, we've been able to show that on court and off court.
What have you made of the league this season? Obviously we've seen Loughborough get beat. That was a surprising result.
Yeah, really great game yesterday by Cardiff. We were all buzzing for them. You know, it's great to see how much of the standards changed in the league this year, and you know, it keeps everyone on their toes. We've got to treat every game like a final, and that's what we're doing. So hopefully today we'll get that win.
And obviously you've already seen the Wolves once this season. What do you make of them?
yeah, they're a quality team. They've got some new players with Neve joining the team, and Ellen Fraser's coming out and scoring really well. Sarah Hope is having an incredible season. What a player she is. So, you know, we know their threats. We know what we need to look out for and work on. And I think we're going to be all right today, but it's going to be a fight for sure.
And they're obviously coming off the high, off their first win last weekend. So you'll want to try and get on top of them early.
Definitely, yeah. We need to put our stamp on the game very early and show them that, you know, we're not here to take home anything less than a pink sheet. You know, we want that win. We want to continue our place in the league and really drive forward in terms of the playoffs and get our spot in the final.
Good luck in the game. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Great win last week. Dramatic, came down right to the end, but you managed to pull it out. The team must have been delighted afterwards.
Yeah, I think it was. We were all delighted, but we knew we played well and we played together till the end, and it was important that we keep that on and don't just dwell on that. Keep on that win and then keep going, because it wasn't the end of the season and it won't be until the final. So keep going.
And from yourself, I thought you had a great performance in that game. You must have been really pleased with what you contributed to the team.
Yeah, I was pleased. I think I could have done better. I think everyone thinks that, but I think it's one of them. We played well as a team, and I wouldn't have been able to play as well as I did without that help from the team, and if we didn't all work together.
And having got that first win on the board, you'll be desperate now for a second one today. What do you have to take from that performance and bring to today?
I think it was just that working together and relying on each other and believing and having that trust in each other as well. I think trust is a team sport, trust is a big thing, and having that trust in each other that you can do it as well as everyone else can do it, I think that's majorly important within the team.
And you guys have struggled scoring a little bit this year. What do you have to do well to increase the offensive output?
I think it's like I've been saying a lot. It's that working together and that belief, and you can do it. And I think one thing you can say with our team is we don't shy away. If we're not hitting, we'll still put them up, and I think that's something to be proud of, and I think that's something we can keep doing. We've all been going and training during the weeks, even if we can't make it to us. It's about that individual training and putting in that time and trusting each other that we are doing that, and I think it ultimately all comes down to trust with each other and the staff.
And you've obviously played the Phoenix already this season. What was the learning from that game?
I think it was just keeping it up and just not backing down if it gets a bit difficult, and if they're starting to get ahead, then not put our heads down a bit, just keep them up and keep going, play till the end.
Well, good luck in today's game. Thanks for talking to us. Well, 25-15 here at East London Sports Dock, and we were talking about Coach Fisher, his halftime team talk, trying to get his team to be able to get into the front court quicker and into their sets in an easier way. How exactly is he going to go about that? Because this pressure from East London is pretty intense.
Yeah, it's a really good press. They're getting good lines. They're not getting big spaces between themselves where they can be picked. So it's a very good, effective press, and it's reaped rewards. They've got turnovers. They've got easy baskets as a result. However, Fisher's problem here is that when they execute their press break, they're getting the ball over. They haven't had an 8-second call against them yet. They had I think a halfway call against them. But the players who are receiving the ball aren't able to do much with it because they're low classification players. They're not going to be able to do too much with it, and as a result, by the time they get the ball into an effective position inside the three-point line, as you said, it's below 10 seconds to go. One thing he might think about, I don't know, is that instead of having your high classification players putting the ball in, you invert the whole thing. So you have someone like Kayla Bell putting the ball in. That gives one of your more effective players a chance to get over the court, over the halfway line, and receive the pass and maybe do something with that.
Well, we'll see when they get back underway as to what the tactical change might be for Coach Fisher and the Wolves. But we were talking earlier about some of the young kids playing beforehand, and a lot of this work around the Women's Premier League is about inspiring the next generation and growing the grassroots base in order to find the the next Jude Hamer, the next Amy Conroy, the next Sarah Hope. And we've got a little video here for you all about that.
Inspire Generation is a programme that's been funded by Sport England and the National Lottery, and it's about bringing the sport of wheelchair basketball to local people in their local communities. So the Community Activators have been delivering sessions of an inclusive programme to be able to introduce the sport to new participants who have never played wheelchair basketball before. Wheelchair basketball is an amazing, fast-paced, exciting sport, which is just a leveller.
It gets able-bodied people and disabled people together on a level playing field, and it's just such an amazing sport that I think everyone should try it.
You can just jump in a chair for the first time, you can jump in a chair for the 10th time, whatever that may be, and just being able to enjoy the sport in an inclusive, fun and safe environment. So if you're considering playing wheelchair basketball for the first time, I'd suggest you get onto inspiregeneration.com, find where your local sessions are, come along, don't worry about the equipment, it'll all be there. Don't worry about the coaching, the best coaches will be there. Just come, have a good time in a fun, safe environment and play this amazing, inclusive sport of wheelchair basketball.
I'd always been sporty back in the old two-leg days, and then post-cancer, post-amputation, it was my dad who encouraged me to get back into sport and try wheelchair basketball, and I was terrible at first. However, I soon fell in love with it and I haven't looked back.
The thing about wheelchair basketball for me when I first tried it was that it made me feel like a kid again. After I lost my leg at the age of 10, up until I discovered wheelchair basketball, at any kind of sport or movement I was at a disadvantage until I got in the sports chair. The second I got in the wheelchair basketball chair, it was like being free again.
I think one of the biggest benefits, and it was one of the benefits for me as well, is you forget about a disability for the time being, and it just makes you more confident, and it really broke me out of a shell and changed me completely, and I know that it could do the same for many other people.
I had a motorbike accident. During my rehab I was laid on my back for 4 months straight. Luckily enough, attached to the hospital is a sports hall where the Sheffield Steelers play. And I thought to myself, as soon as I'm ready and able, I'm going to go down and give it a go.
I think it's just thrilling to be in a chair that you can go so quick in and to dribble a ball around people, and it's such an amazing feeling that you're equal to everyone else.
Whatever team that you play for, whether it's junior league or your local team, it's just the family that you'll make. Every team becomes your second family. The friendships, you'll always have people there for you that go through similar struggles as yourself.
Once I had my accident, I thought that my life was over. Wheelchair basketball helped me discover that that's not true. Do you know what I mean? All you have to do is just take the first step, getting out there and trying something. Maybe you need that push to get going, but once you do get going, you never stop.
Well, some great players there telling us about their journey into wheelchair basketball, and that's the thing about each player wants somebody else to follow them. People would have come and seen you play back in Atlanta back in 1996 and go, I want to do that, and then it's about handing on to the next one.
Well, if they saw me playing Atlanta, there wouldn't have been much to inspire them, to be honest. But going back a bit further than that. But that's exactly it. It really, the great thing about the volume of players that we've got coming into the game, young players, is now there is a genuine legacy that people can leave behind. It doesn't mean, even if you're not an international player, just a really good club player, a stalwart of your club, that's a legacy already. So yeah, it's really important and fantastic to see.
Well, the two coaches have had their opportunity to instruct their teams here, and it will be interesting to see if Coach Aragbemi goes again with that pressure defence that we saw in the second quarter, or whether he thinks we've got a bit of a cushion now, we don't want to wear everybody out, let's go back to how we played in the first quarter, maybe make a few more shots than they did in the first quarter.
Yeah, quite so. But he may, I mean, they've had a bit of a rest now, so they should be fit enough. He may go with the press again just to see what Simon Fisher has put in place to change things.
Yeah.
And then he might take it off and bring it back later on when it's more imperative.
Well, let's see. We're underway in the third quarter. It's the Wolves who trail by 10, having led by as many as 8, who get us underway, and no score on the first play for them.
Yeah, quiet game so far from Niamh Horan. She's played 10 minutes, but has only scored 1, or not actually. She hasn't scored at all.
All good hands from Lachlan. Almost forced the turnover. Lachlan with the defensive rebound after miss from Levy. And Lachlan left on her own for a second, but Hamer's able to recover. There we go, right on cue. Horan is there for a score.
Yeah, little bit of a defensive error there from Wheeler. She overcommitted, went past the player with the ball.
Levy at the top of the key, gets it to Hamer. Hamer again has a really good look at it. Can't knock that one down.
Probably could have taken a push there, couldn't she?
Yeah.
Improved her position.
Mind you, the way she was shooting in the second quarter, she probably thought that will go in anyway.
Yeah, true.
Hope can't convert. It's a lovely pass inside to Wheeler. He's got great position, just doesn't quite get the spin of the ball. But it falls very nicely into the hands of Five Ash, who's able to kiss it in off the glass.
Nice finish by Five Ash, and here's the press again.
Well, dealt with relatively comfortably this time. Warren sets herself, but unable to knock it down. And just pause the game to allow Five Ash back onto her wheels. Wheeler again from long range. Can she beat the ball to the end line? No, not quite.
There again, Beth Wheeler, the player with no fear. But when she gets hot, she's really hot.
Lachlan surveying her options, back to Hope. Horan knocks down the shot and adds 2 more to her tally.
Yeah, nice shot by Horan. They're going to need a lot more of that. When Sarah plays in the middle, it's difficult for them to cover. Gives more time and space for the shooter.
A little bump foul there from Lachlan to prevent Hamer from getting a shot away. The foul was on the floor, so it'll be an end-line ball. Wheeler trying to find some room. It's a good pass, but it just rims out for Branthwaite. Five Ash on the glass, and they're able to get some second chance points there. Good work from the Phoenix.
Great rebounding and a good feed to Wheeler, who hadn't been blocked out, has to be said.
Warren needs to get it forward. And there's going to be an offensive foul called. Again, the press causing problems.
Good work by Freya Levy again there. That's twice she's forced errors just by putting her chair in the right position.
Well, JJ, I didn't notice it at the start of the second half, but they fixed the shot clock issue. We're back to the normal shot clocks.
Yeah, they kept that quiet, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They had 15 minutes at the beginning of the game to sort it out, and they managed to do it in the 15 minutes at halftime instead. Wheeler will go to the free throw line. We're going to have a substitution first of all with Fraser in.
Fraser, of course, gives them a bit more size. But their problems at the moment are with breaking this press.
Well, you think back, they scored 13 points in the first quarter. And what are we, 14 minutes nearly since then? They've only scored 6.
11 turnovers in that court, in that half.
Yeah, and it's cost them 9
Still
points
quite high.
as well. Here's Bell. Over to Fraser. Setting herself for the shot. It's good work on the glass from Fiveash. Did the work early, got the good position. Hamer. She's going to knock that down all day.
Just beautiful, flowing, fast break basketball there. Everybody filled great lanes.
Well, that is not a great pass forward. It's a turnover. Once again, a chance for some more points off turnover. Hamer, slightly going in the wrong direction, but still got the quality to knock it down.
Yeah, tough shot there, but just such a quality player.
Hope working with Horan to create some room for the shot. It's a little short. Hamer grabs her 7th rebound of the game. Branthwaite onto Hamer again. And she's just picking her spots really now and picking Worcester apart.
Yeah, she went from elbow to elbow there. Good movement from the other players to keep the spacing right. Drew the defense.
Right, it was a slightly slow start from Jude Hamer with 5 misses in her first 6 shots, but since then she's been 7 for 11 from the floor and absolutely scoring at will. 17 points on her way to a double-double, and East London well on their way to victory here, having trailed early on. They've really took it to the Wolves since then, and they're continuing that here in the second half, because it's the quality of shot often in this sort of situation. You look at how difficult it is for Worcester to get a not very good shot versus how easy it is for the Phoenix to get a really good shot.
Yeah, part of the problem for Worcester today is that nobody else is actually chipping in with scoring. They're relying on Hope, and she's just been too well defended to be effective. Whereas with the Phoenix, of course, you've got the likes of Wheeler who have to be guarded, and if she's guarded, if she draws the cover, it means usually that Hamer will be free somewhere, and she's been very clever at getting into those positions today.
Well, both Wheeler and Hamer in double figures. Nobody from the Wolves in double figures in terms of scoring. Dad as well into the game for the first time. Hope with Hamer for company. Goes round the screen, back to Bell. back high and gets her own rebound. Gets it out to Fraser. She's stuck there now with the shot clock ticking down. The hook shot is off the mark and falls right into the hands. And again, good positioning from Five Ash to get the rebound. Hamer tried the misdirection of faking the shot but passing it on to Levy, but Hope was wise to it.
It's a good idea that, but she probably needs to commit the defense first a bit more.
But again, look at that shot for Wheeler. It's a really comfortable rhythm shot for her.
Yeah, it really is. You give her space and time, she's going to start knocking them down as well.
Well, that's an ambitious throw. It's going to be a foul there. The referee has to call that on Fraser because otherwise it'd be a backcourt violation on Branthwaite.
Frustration there from Fraser, I think. Just making sure they didn't get anything easy off that, but there was an element of frustration in that foul.
Fee Tillman coming into the game for the first time.
It's a nice moment to see Fee Tillman back on a court. Probably one of the very best team players you could ever hope to play alongside or train alongside.
Again, look at the quality of shot for Hamer. Even if it doesn't go in, the quality of the shots that East London are getting, eventually it's just going to wear you down.
Yeah, I mean, she had so much time there. I think she got bored, which is why she missed it.
Bell trying to get it into Hope, and you can see there are three Phoenix players around her, so even if she catches it, she's going to be under pressure.
Yeah, that was going nowhere, but you had to say, is it the right pass? If she had three players on her, somebody else had to be free.
Again, I think the pressure of the scoreboard is forcing the Wolves into some mental errors. Having started the game so well, here is Tillman in the key, into the game and onto the scoreboard.
Well, you heard the big cheer there, how popular a score that was. That tells you all you need to know about Fee Tillman.
Fraser trying to get it to Hope. Oh, good hands from Wheeler, but it goes straight into the Wolves' hands. Hamer up to 8 rebounds now. Pass didn't quite have enough on it from Steele.
Yeah, it's the second time she's made that error in passing. Might be better to go through the middle in future.
English left alone. And again, it's great positioning from Five Ash to deflect that away. And a timeout call with 2 minutes and 1 second to go here in the third quarter. East London timeout. And he was just making a substitution as well. I think Hamer was and Five Ash were coming off, and maybe just wants to talk through the lineup to the team before they go back out there.
Yeah, it's 21 points, the difference, but I think I alluded to this in a couple of games ago, that you can still get something out of this game, even if it feels like you're going to win relatively easily. You can get other players in. You could even deliberately narrow the margin so that some players get a little bit of pressure on them, know how to play, so that in the future games, you know, the playoffs or the finals, if one of your key players is missing or has fouls, somebody has to go in. They're used to that little bit of pressure already.
Well, we'll see what the lineup looks like coming out of this timeout. But as you say, 21 points the lead, and we talked at the top of the show about the challenges that the Wolves have had scoring. 13 points in the first quarter was above their average, but since then it's dropped southwards. They've only scored 6 points in 18 minutes. Shot clock is getting low. It's going to have to go up. Got it off in time, and Sarah Hope with the bucket on the buzzer.
Man alive, how did she do that? One-handed shot put.
It was a bit of a shot put, but it's 2 much-needed points for the Wolves. Hope now with the defensive rebound. Nice pass over to Dowd as well. Back round it goes to Hope. Bell, top of the key. Tipped away. There's only 4 seconds on the shot clock.
And a questionable decision about who to pass that to. She wouldn't have wanted that ball.
It's got to go up, and it does. And this time it doesn't go in on the buzzer. Tillman in the right place to pull in the rebound. Carrigal needs to get it across mid-court and doesn't do so in time. An 8-second violation.
So Worcester making the press pay dividends for them this time, albeit with Phoenix's bench. A minute left in this quarter.
Here's Hope. Steele coming away with it. Big collision there, and it's an offensive foul that gets the call. You could hear that one from a long way away. Bell, cross court to Fraser. Nice work with Dowd as well, and she's in for 2.
Beautiful little two-player play there. Classic pick and roll.
And that will do it for a third quarter that once again East London have won and won comfortably. They've stretched their margin out to 17 points here at the Sports Dock at the University of East London, and they will feel really good about themselves again. The pressure at the defensive end has caused the Wolves problems, but also offensively they've moved the ball well and found good shots.
Yeah, they just struggled to score today, didn't they? I mean, I think Niamh Horan particularly, who had such a great game last week. We were expecting her to put some numbers on the board this week, but she's not really come to the party today.
A couple of scores at the start of the third quarter, but apart from that, and herein is the problem, they've only got 2 players who've made more than 1 basket in the game. Horan's made 2 and Hope has made 4, and it's hard to get the scoreboard ticking in that regard.
Yeah, that's right. And you have to give credit to Phoenix. They were down at the start of this game. They had to find a way to change the momentum and get back ahead, which is exactly what they did, with good pressing and clever offense, sensible offense, getting the ball to Hamer as much as they could on mismatches, and Wheeler chipping in with the occasional spectacular play.
they've just, I know we said it before, they've just got really good offensive looks. They've moved the ball to find the best shot, and their shooting numbers, which were pretty low at the end of the first quarter, have been gradually rising as the game has gone on as a result of that. Underway in the fourth quarter. Fraser gets a piece of that and go out of bounds with 13 on the shot clock. End line ball to the Phoenix. Again, that's kind of an example of it. They've not really had to work hard for that. It's just a simple inbound pass. Hamer exactly where she wants to shoot the ball, and is going to knock it down. Yeah.
I mean, normally you'd try and match Hamer up with two big players, but the problem is she's been very clever at moving from side to side today.
It's off the mark from Brand, and a chance for Wheeler to get out in the open court. Brown on the trail, right down the lane, not quite.
It was all textbook, just a bit unfortunate on the shot.
Bell's pass is over the outstretched arm of Fraser and out of bounds.
It's the 17th turnover for the Wolves in this game.
They've been
a telling feature yet again.
16 points scored off those turnovers. Might be 18 now. No, not quite.
Should have been 18 there.
Should have been, yeah.
Nice play from Hamer and Wheeler.
Fraser with a hand in her face, able to ignore the defensive presence of Wake to score. Wheeler drops it off, and this time no mistake from Steele.
Well, it's all becoming a little bit too easy for Phoenix here. Hard to see a way back for Wolves.
No, it's hard to see a way over the halfway line there. They managed to squeeze a gap for Dowd as well. Again, the pass not quite on the money and out of bounds.
Yeah, a lot being asked of Kayla Bell to make those sort of passes consistently. Just her chair set up, and being classification 1 player, it's difficult to get her whole shoulder into the pass as a higher classification player would be able to do.
Well, if you are new to the sport of wheelchair basketball, each of the players is given a classification ranking from 1 to 4.5. And indeed even 5 at this level, isn't it? So the coaches have to put out a combination of all of those, but obviously the lower the points classification, the less lower body ability, strength, control that the player has.
Yeah, that's quite right. So that they won't be able to perform someone like Kayla Bell won't be able to perform the same functions that someone like Jude Hamer can, just because Jude will have all her abs, able to maintain balance with her legs if needed, and that feeds into how you shoot, how you pass, how you push the chair. It feeds into every aspect of the game.
And as a general rule of thumb, if you haven't got the live stats open where it tells you the classification, the higher classified players tend to sit a bit taller in the chair because they've got that leg control, and the lower classification players tend to be a bit lower down in the chair so you can almost visually see them. Here's Wheeler looking to go to work. Round to Hamer. Passes it inside to Wheeler, and she scores for 2.
Yeah, again, nice. Patient play there. Hamer drawing the defence. Wheeler makes the blindside cut.
Loughlin, mid-range shot is good, all string for Jade Loughlin.
Nice shot. You feel it's too much too late though.
Hamer's going to shoot from the elbow, and Hamer's going to score again. 21 points for Jude Hamer. She's now 10 for 20, up to 50%, which when you think she was 1 for 6 in the early going.
Spectacular catch by Fraser there.
She's done well to hang on to the ball. And an even better pass out of it. Doesn't get the assist as Loughlin can't score.
What a play by Fraser there.
Well, Hamer just showing the full repertoire here, absolutely dominating now.
Yeah. It's almost unfair how good she's been in this game.
23 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists as well. Brand looking for room. Bell providing the screen, and the cut down the lane was seen there, and English takes the foul.
Yeah, unnecessary.
You're all right there, JJ.
Sorry, fly in my throat. Unnecessary foul there. She wasn't going to make that shot, I don't think. I'd have just let her roll off court, I think.
Nah, sometimes you just, it's the contact of the game, isn't it? You just give them a little bump, hope the referee doesn't see it. But did on that occasion, and they get some points out of it as Jade Loughlin knocks down the shot. Here's Hamer off the glass. Well, a rare miss. Gets her own rebound, has 2 points anyway.
Well, that'll be disappointing for Fish. It's one thing, Jude Hamer hitting shots with under pressure, but to not block her out.
Yeah, she's a rebound closer to that double-double now. Loughlin down to Fraser. Not much time to work with. Well, Wheeler has Hamer flying down court. Doesn't give it to her, goes the other way to Brown instead, and they get 2, and the foul is called as well, so Brown will go to the line for a bonus free throw.
I think Wheeler got away with one there. That ball should have gone to Hamer much earlier. But maybe she was keen to get Karen on the scoreboard.
Well, it must have been an offensive foul. I thought at first it was a defensive foul, so now it looks an even worse decision because Hamer would have had an easy layup.
Yeah, it was a bad decision no matter what the outcome, really.
Broken up again.
It's a tough pass to make.
Yeah. Brown to Hamer. Offensive rebound and the putback. That will count. And Wheeler will go to the line for a bonus free throw. So Wheeler now has the double-double on her stats alongside Hamer. They both have 10 rebounds. Hamer has 25 points and Wheeler now 17. Well, there you go again. It's bad enough giving them 1 second chance opportunity. They've given them 2, and it's cost them 4 points on the same play.
Yeah, I mean, that sort of play from a free throw is unforgivable, really. You have to block out from the low post.
Oh, I thought for a second Wheeler was going to get another one there.
Yeah, once again, Fraser didn't block her out at all. Lucky to get away with it.
Well, I think Coach Fisher might just be mentioning that to Fraser as she heads off and Warren checks in. Lachlan just a little short, looked like it might bobble in, but it didn't. Still got a round of applause from the coaches, a good shot. Oh, that's lovely. And they're just finding it too easy now, East London.
Well, that's sort of showing off, isn't it?
It's just the extra pace.
Great to see.
And it's deflected away. Last touched off Hickman and out of bounds. Just some confusion as to whether there's a substitution happening here or not. Worcester made one, but there were 2 players leaving Carrigill ready to come in, but coach hadn't finished giving his instructions, so they'll play on for this possession. Steele this time, they're just slicing the defence apart now.
Yeah, it's all too easy. The cover didn't come in time there, should have come a lot earlier.
When you think back to the first quarter and how well Worcester were performing defensively, it's certainly gone awry here. Nice pass. Lachlan underneath though. Good work from Hamer to make that a difficult shot.
Yeah, 2 for underneath that time.
Hamer's able to recover the loose ball, and oh, that was a little unfortunate. It just came off the wheel of Steele.
Poor pass, Dan. Poor pass.
Well, he's trying to be nice. Lachlan sees Hope in the key, finds Hope, and Hope lays it in. She's into double figures, first player on her team to get there. And
finally an easy basket for Hope.
Yeah.
And for the Wolves.
Few and far between today. Easy basket for the Wolves. 2:22 to go. East London going to call a timeout. 62-31. They lead. And this is the point you were making a little earlier about execution with different lineups and making sure that you get everything you can out of every 40-minute game.
Yeah, not easily done, because obviously when you're losing this heavily, it's hard for players to see the point of carrying on, or what am I doing on court? Why am I not on court? But there is always something to be gained, I feel, from a coaching perspective, whatever your situation is, whether you're winning by 20 or losing by 30.
Well, the Wolves first to break from that timeout.
So, for example, Worcester now, they're not being pressed as heavily as they were before. Can they go through some set plays? Who knows? Double screens for Hope or Laughlin or Horan, something that might reap rewards further down the line.
Wheeler. Levy at the top of the key. And again, just more agony as far as the Wolves are concerned, and 29 points now for Jude Hamer.
Yeah, she has really hurt them from that position today. Bit of floor cleaning going on.
Well, Robin Love's 35 is the most points in a game this season in the WPL. Only 2 players have scored 30 in a game this season. Bo Kramer, the other one, with 32. This is Hamer's best score of the season so far as well, and she's still got a chance to add to it.
She had a very good game against Loughborough Lightning last time out as well, even though they lost, but they lost by 9. Narrow loss, but she was fantastic. Similar game to what she had today, just scoring runs.
She ended up with 27 in that game. So that was her previous high. Nice pass. Bell time to set herself and score.
Good patient play in the end.
Well, Wheeler will leave the game for the final time, replaced by Five Ash. 19 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. A couple of steals as well for Beth Wheeler.
Good numbers for Wheeler. As we said at the beginning, she needed to step up today in the absence of Conroy, and she has done.
Well, Carrigill will expect she should score that, but unable to do so. Last 45 seconds of the ball game. Horan's going to take the shot and miss everything, and that'll go straight out of bounds.
Yeah, Horan didn't really find the pocket properly in that little maneuver there. She kept going too far either way.
Steal shot off the mark. Five Ash trying to grab the rebound. I think she's played really well as well. Five Ash, she's 6 rebounds and 5 assists, 3 steals as well for Chloe Five Ash.
A good performance.
Well, the shot clock is off, so well, I was about to say they can run it down to the end, but an offensive foul means East London will get the last possession of the ball game. Here is Five Ash. Back to Steele on the buzzer and strings it. The perfect finish for East London. A bucket right at the end for Steele. And again, that they have really dominated from the second quarter onwards. Offense from all corners really, but led by 29 points and 11 rebounds for Jude Hamer. A really good performance from her, and ably assisted by Wheeler as well, who also had a double-double. But really, the defense set the stall out for East London in this game.
Yeah, they had a shaky start, but came up with a solution to which Worcester didn't really have an answer. They went in at half-time. No doubt they would have talked about that press and how it was hurting them and what they could do. But as it turned out, they now know what they have to do. They have to work on that press break, because teams will do that to them now. So a great performance from Phoenix. Fantastic individual performance from Jude Hamer. Really showing the class which we know she's always had.
well, to score 29 points and shoot above 50% from the floor is an incredibly efficient way of getting that scoreboard ticking.
Absolutely, and make no mistake, it wasn't like they were all breakaway, easy layups, uncontested. She was contested, even though there were mismatches. It's still a contested shot. Here we see an example of it here. She's passing that time, but just all contested shots. But she was just knocking them down. She was feeling it today.
Yeah, and actually, if you take the first quarter out, her shooting numbers would be even better because she got better as the game went on, Jude Hamer. But what happened was, because they were forcing Worcester into mistakes, they were getting easier looks for other people as well. So Jude was making easy ones and difficult ones. Everybody else was getting good looks as well. The whole team feels comfortable, and you're able to keep that scoreboard ticking. Second half, they've scored 40 odd points and doubled what Worcester have scored in the second half.
Yeah, that's right. So the rest of the team, as you say, were feeding off Jude Hamer's success. So she'd get the ball, and then Wheeler would be able to cut into the key because the whole defence is attracted to the person who's just scored 4 baskets in a row. So, yeah, good all-round performance.
Certainly was. And, for Worcester, the first quarter tape will show them what they can do defensively, and the other 3 quarters will show them where they have to improve offensively in terms of reviewing this game and getting themselves into the half court and getting themselves in good positions to be able to score, because too often they were playing defense against 6, the shot clock being the 6th player.
Yeah, that was a difficult one for them. As you say, they weren't able to get the ball into a threatening position below the 3-point line with enough time on the clock to make it a legitimate play.
Well, that has been the challenge, and to be honest with you, 35 points is about their season average, and something we talked about before the game, and something that we need to do going forward as well. So we can get some reaction now. TB Steele is down with Bethan.
Hi DB, so always great to get a win in front of a home crowd. Talk to me about that one.
Yeah, it was. We got off to a bit of a slow start. We struggled to find buckets in the first quarter, but we held it together as a team. Our defense was strong, and it really came second, third, and fourth quarters. Really proud of the girls today. Sometimes it's tough to come from behind. We're missing a couple of our key players due to illness and injury. But what's fantastic about this squad that we have is we can really put out a versatile 5. We're not dependent on 1 or 2 players. We really pull together as a strong team.
Amazing. And your next game is going to be a rematch away against Worcester. How will you be preparing for that one?
Well, we've got Easter coming up as well, so we've got only a few training sessions before that, where go back, do some video analysis, look at what we got. They've got a good, strong shooting team as well, so we really need to make sure we've got tough defense and we really come together as a team as well. It's always harder when we're away. It's great to play in front of a home crowd. This was our last home game, so we really need to make sure that we take that focus and composure into our next game moving forward.
Thank you very much. Good game.
Thanks very much.
Well, a good performance from her. 3 rebounds as well, and a good all-round team performance from East London. They shooting 44% from the floor and dominated the rebounds, 49-30. They were getting a lot of second chance looks with 20 offensive rebounds and 17 second chance points, which is always a really good way of getting points on the board. Here's the standings now. East London moving to 4-2, still behind Loughborough, but only 1 game back now after Loughborough's defeat yesterday, and Worcester just 1 win to show for their 6 games so far, and the minus 117, the big problem for Coach Fisher to deal with.
Yeah, it's a combination, obviously, with their offense and their defense. They got their defence together last week. However, as we said at the start, it's a very different prospect against Phoenix because they've just got too much in their arsenal, really. And it showed today, you know, when they really needed it, one or two of their players just stepped up to the plate and got the job done.
Well, victory here by 66 points to 35. Here are the games that are coming up in a couple of weeks' time. We'll be back with Worcester taking on East London again in the reverse fixture, in Cardiff going to Loughborough. Really looking forward to that one, to see how Loughborough respond to that surprising defeat yesterday. Should be exciting now.
Yeah, you'd have thought so, and I'm sure they'll think of something. They're cunning. They've got some old heads on that team. Although, you know, the coach George Bates is new to the coaching game, but he's got some good people around him.
It should be a fascinating one for that, but make sure you do join us if you can. A good win for East London Phoenix here against Worcester. For JJ, I'm Daniel Routledge. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon. Goodbye.